Cassandra's heart pounded with mistrust as she stared at the ultrasound screen. What she saw shattered her understanding of her beloved snake. She had taken Reggie to the vet suspecting he might be sick or behaving unusually, but the reality was far worse than she had imagined about her cherished pet. But before we begin our story, make sure to click the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a new story. She had no idea about Reggie's true intentions. Now, thinking about it, a chill ran down her spine. She could not help but feel foolish for missing the signs, how Reggie coiled around her, how he watched her with his piercing eyes. She had interpreted it as devotion. Unfortunately, the truth was far from comforting. What had happened that night now seemed terrifying. In the quaint and quiet town of Bar Harbor, everyone knew each other's names and business, and gossip spread like wildfire. Along the charming streets lined with neat gardens and friendly faces, Cassandra, an independent woman in her 30s who loved solitude, moved in next door with a massive python named Reggie. Whispering started almost immediately. People could not understand why someone would live with such an unusual companion, and concerns for their own safety grew. Despite wary glances and hushed comments, Cassandra stood firm. She had rescued Reggie from an exotic pet center after he had been abandoned by his previous owner, and their bond was unbreakable. Her neighbors could not comprehend their connection. She lived with the snake, and they noticed how Reggie's eyes seemed to glow with understanding when Cassandra spoke to him, how he gently touched her cheek with his scaly head, as if reassuring her he was there. He was the perfect companion for her modest home, low maintenance and quiet, unlike her neighbor's constantly barking dog. Even her tiny dog never caused trouble. Reggie had never made an attempt to harm her or any visitors, if only her neighbors would stop their constant, baseless warnings. Reggie was kept in a vivarium at home, heated and lit as per reptile care standards. But as loneliness crept in, Cassandra longed for a deeper connection. She genuinely believed it would strengthen their bond. Observing how her neighbor grew distant from her own dog, who now slept outside, Cassandra sought to show her own loyalty. She began sleeping curled up with Reggie. Night after night, they curled up together. His steady breathing lulled her into the deepest, most peaceful sleep she had ever experienced. But after a few weeks, Cassandra noticed troubling changes. Reggie lost interest in food, fresh chicken, even his favorite cabbage. One morning, he lay still on the bed, refusing to eat and acting more agitated than usual, especially when she tried to return him to the vivarium. She thought maybe he was in a bad mood or unwell. But something about his appearance was off. Had he somehow changed size overnight? Worried, Cassandra took him to local vet doctor Hansen, a calm, experienced man known for treating exotic pets. Something was missing in her relationship with Reggie, and she feared it could be serious. At the clinic, Dr. Hansen was taken aback by the bond between woman and snake. He admired their unusual closeness. After hearing Cassandra's explanation, he decided an abdominal ultrasound was the best course of action. Maybe Reggie had swallowed something odd. He ran several tests, blood work, X-rays. As he performed the ultrasound, he frowned and exchanged a look with his assistant. Cassandra's heart pounded. What was he seeing? He asked about Reggie's diet and sleep habits. Cassandra, unaware of the growing concern in Dr. Hansen's eyes, described how they slept together. Then came the chilling truth. "His stomach is empty," said Dr. Hansen. "I believe he is preparing for a large meal." Cassandra frowned. "But I offered him food, and he refused." Dr. Hansen hesitated, then gently said, "Miss Turner, I believe Reggie has been sizing you up, as prey." Cassandra's heart raced. "That is impossible. He is my companion, my friend." "I understand how you feel," sighed the vet. "But Reggie is still a wild animal. His instincts are powerful. I strongly urge you to reconsider your sleeping arrangements." A cold shiver ran through Cassandra. "Reggie," preparing to eat her? What she thought was a loving bond was actually predatory assessment. He had been watching her, waiting for the perfect moment. Leaving the clinic, Cassandra battled fear and disbelief. Despite her protests, the facts were undeniable. Pythons are opportunistic hunters. Reggie's behavior was textbook. The vet advised rehoming him. Cassandra needed proof. That night, she placed a mannequin in her bed, covered it with her blanket, and hid nearby. Her breath caught as Reggie's grip tightened around the lifeless form. Then came the cracking sound of bones. Dr. Hansen had been right. Reggie had been preparing for her. Heartbroken, but resolute, she contacted the Exotic Pet Rescue Center. Though she loved Reggie, she could not ignore the danger. Over the next few days, she prepared for his departure. When the rescuers arrived, she gently stroked his scales one last time. If only Reggie knew the love they had shared, and the risk it carried. News of Cassandra spread through Bar Harbor. Some gossiped, others expressed concern and support. Neighbors who once judged her now showed kindness. The support comforted Cassandra. Over time, the pain of losing Reggie faded. To fill the void, she began volunteering at the rescue center, caring for animals in need. Through this, she learned that love is not limited to just one creature and can be found in the most unexpected places. One day, drawn to a small enclosure at the back of the center, she met a chameleon named Cammy. Though nothing could replace Reggie, she instantly bonded with the tiny creature. She adopted Cammy, offering her a loving home and a fresh start. Neighbors welcomed her new companion, marveling at how Cammy changed colors to match Cassandra's bright outfits. Life felt peaceful again. Rumors about the woman who slept with a python gradually faded. Cassandra's journey taught her the limits of love and the importance of recognizing danger. She began a new chapter with Cammy, treasuring memories of Reggie, knowing they would always be part of her story. Months later, something unusual happened. Cammy, usually vibrant in blues and greens, stopped matching her surroundings. Her appetite dropped. She grew irritable. Concerned, Cassandra took her to Dr. Hansen. An X-ray made Cassandra's heart sink. Several small round objects were in Cammy's stomach, decorative pieces from her terrarium. She had been so focused on enjoying her new pet, she overlooked potential hazards. Dr. Hansen assured her surgery was possible, though risky. Cassandra could not bear to lose another pet, but she knew what had to be done. She agreed to the operation and returned home to a heavy silence. That evening, she received a call. The surgery was successful. Cammy was safe. Relieved, she picked her up the next morning. Cammy, weak but alive, had her colors back and was curious again. Determined not to repeat her mistakes, Cassandra followed all care instructions, revamped the terrarium, and adjusted Cammy's diet. Cammy regained her strength. Cassandra became a more responsible pet owner. Though nothing could replace the time spent with Reggie, her story showed the importance of creating a safe environment for pets and our responsibility for their well-being. In the end, the bond between Cassandra and Cammy grew stronger than ever. Their story became a testament to the love and resilience that can bloom between humans and animals, even through loss and heartbreak. Cassandra found inner strength and healing, realizing that love should never blind us to truth. In the end, she embraced her new life, grateful, wiser, and ready for new adventures.